Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Blitz, and today I'm going to be talking about the KPZ-70. Now, it is currently 5 in the morning, and this tank literally just hit the store about 20 minutes ago. And it's $15, which is just a ridiculously inexpensive price tag. I was like, what? How is it only $15? I was thinking maybe $30 for this tank, $25, but it's literally $15, and if you bump up the price $5, you get the camouflage as well with full equipment slots. That is a very, very inexpensive price tag. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the tank, all you need to know about it, where to run it, all the stuff like my normal tank reviews, and whether or not you should be sticking it in your garage. So what is so special about the KPZ? Why is it such a cheap vehicle? Because usually cheaper vehicles aren't the most special. However, I can assure you that the KPZ is one of my favorite tier 9s in the game. And the reason of that being is because you can see it's got quite a long reload. And that first shell we fired did 581 damage, because this tank actually has an average damage of around 560. You can see there, 598. It's just such a nasty gun. And it does have a long reload, as I said, but really it doesn't matter that much because the tank is pretty quick. It's got a very low profile, as you can see there. That enemy KPZ is very low down, and the gun just hits like a truck. 1800 damage already, and this is why I love it so much. It's just this mobile platform. It goes 42 kilometers per hour. You can see I'm literally the same height as that standard B right there. It's a very low down vehicle. And the turret is almost completely impenetrable. It's about 300 millimeters thick on average. Not to mention the gun handling statistics. Unlike most high alpha tanks, especially heavies, this has some of the best gun handling statistics in the game, because for some reason Wargaming just kept on buffing the vehicle. The first time it came out, I think the dispersion was around 0.4 something, and then they decided to buff it a little bit on the aiming time, and then they buffed the dispersion. Now the dispersion is sitting at 0.344. Now that isn't spectacular, but to be honest, that is not bad for 560 average damage. And you can see that aiming circle is tiny, and it's only a 4-second aiming time. Just to give you a comparison, an IS-5 has like a 7-second aiming time, so this pretty much aims in 3 seconds quicker than an IS-5 there. You can see slam that shell right into the side of the Centurion. 3,500 damage picked up. I literally just played this game. And the game you're going to see after this one, I played consecutively 1 and 2 in an order. So you can see the tank definitely is not bad. And it's just because of the playstyle that it really pulls out. I'm a person that loves the big alpha, and this is almost like everything I wish for in Blitz. It's got that big alpha, it's got speed, it's got armor, not to mention it is one of the sexiest tanks in the game in my opinion. It looks like a modern tank, it's very, very sleek, very low down, and it actually has one of the best camo ratings at tier 9 for a heavy tank. Now you can see 4,000 damage. Now, ignore the credits. I do have a credit booster on, but even with that credit booster on, we still would have earned quite a bit of credits. We would have earned about 50, 60,000, and it is a premium, so don't worry about it being nerfed ever. It is not a collector tank, so one nice thing is it's going to stay this way in the game. But it is just such a fun vehicle to run. So now let me get into the second replay. Now, when you take a look at the armor profile of the KPZ, you can definitely see it is not the most armored heavy tank. The upper plate is only about 210 millimeters thick, and the lower plate also is about 209. Now, that is a pretty well armored lower plate, but the upper plate, as I said, as well, is pretty much the same thickness. So the whole bottom part of this tank, or the whole hull, should I say, is only around 200 millimeters in the front. So that isn't going to really bounce any tier 9s that you get matched up against, especially tier 10s. However, tier 8s definitely will struggle to penetrate that. Any mediums are really going to have a tough time penetrating through that main armor. But you can see that huge, giant red turret. It is completely impenetrable, to be honest, through the entire front. You can see 300 millimeters thick, 330. It's just very, very hard to penetrate. The gun mantlet, you're not getting through that. But you can see there is this little green box that sticks out on the side of the turret, and it does count as a weak spot. It's only about 150 thick, so if this tank is face-hugging you, because as I said, the KPZ is very low down. It can get some very nice face hugs into the enemy. When you're in a face hugging position or you're trying to fight one of these tanks, shoot it in the side of the turret if you can't aim at the hull. because you will very, very easily be able to pen it. You can see there that Pantera pens right into that side thing on the tank. It definitely is a weak spot, but you can see I'm moving back and forth, trying the best I can to have him miss the shots. And again, now this Pantera is just a one-shot for us. 545. You can see that extra buffed alpha just really helps you scare people. First of all, nobody wants to take 560 damage. In this tank, as I said, look how quick that vehicle aims in. Aims in very quickly, and shell goes exactly where you want it to. Unfortunately, that was a low roll there, but 2,300 damage already within the first 2 minutes of the game. And you can see my team is falling apart very quickly, so we're going to have to see how this game does end up. But now I'm going to use my 6 degrees of gun depression. It's definitely not the best gun depression. You can definitely get a lot better, but 6 degrees is decent enough. You can see there's 702 with that HE into that RHM. Again, that T-32 can just not penetrate through our turret. 3,000 damage picked up now, and there's still 5 enemy vehicles left, so we're going to see if we can rack up some more damage. Now that T-32 really just wants to keep on fighting me, so I'm going to pull out again, and look how accurate that gun is. Again, it just snaps right where you aim, and that's one thing I've really noticed about this tank is it just goes where you aim. It is so accurate, and I'm not sure why that is, but it really just makes this tank so much more fun and gratifying because you know that your shells aren't going to miss. Again, slam a shell into him, pretty much our average roll, and somehow he does bounce the shot off of us, but I can pretty much tell you that that player probably just bought the tank as it hit the store today for $15. But you can see now, I know I out-reload him because I fired first, so I'm going to tap my shell into him. So there you go, we've already picked up 4,600 damage, and there's 3 enemy vehicles left. And hopefully we are going to be able to win this match, but you can see it is looking pretty close. That RHM gets lit on fire and does die from the fire, however, we slam the shell right into the rear of that WZ-111. Not sure what he was doing there. 5,000 damage now. That T-32 is pretty much a one-shot for us, so hopefully we just do get an average roll here. We have a 50-50 chance of finishing him off. Come on. Yes, get the average shot, and now it's looking pretty good for us. 842 hit points left in this WZ. You can see this KPZ can just be a beast. All you have to do is know how to run it, because I know that I can't push on vehicles alone, and you're going to see what happens when I do push on this WZ. The KPZ's just got one of the worst damage per minutes at tier 9, and this WZ is going to be able to punish me greatly for it. You can see here he's going to tap one shell and he drives up, but now I figure I'm going to be a little aggressive. I'm going to push on him. He's only got 200 hit points left, so here we go. We're going to try and get to his side. Come on. And, oh my god, a disaster. I don't know how that shot bounced, but come on, are we going to be able to survive it? He actually tracks us there, and we lose the match. 6,200 damage, 1,400 block, and 5 kills. And somehow, I don't know how in any world that shot bounced. It was a clear shot right into the side of his tank, bounces off. So I'm not sure why that happened. It definitely should have. Even if I'd hit that little spaced armor bar on his tank, it still, with 252 millimeters of penetration, should have gone right through the side of his vehicle. So that really, really annoyed me. But still, 6,200 damage is nothing to go home complaining about. We managed to pick up the mastery, so I'm still happy. And you can see that this tank is definitely a powerhouse if you can get it in the right scenario. Now, it's definitely not overpowered like that WZ-120. The WZ is one of the most overpowered tanks in the game. And I hope Wargaming does not sell it in the Blitz fair, but my guess is they will. So make sure you do pick that up if it does come out. But the KPZ, it's a very, very good tank. And if it suits your playstyle of that big alpha peekaboo style, this is definitely going to really rock your world. And as I said, $15 is just so inexpensive. I was very, very surprised to see how cheap it is. You can see it in bundles. Actually, yeah, it is in bundles. $15. And I would suggest, to be honest, to get it with the camo and with the equipment slots because it's only $5 more. And the tank looks, ooh, it looks so nice with this camo. You can see. But yeah, it definitely is worth the price tag. Don't even think twice about it. I love this tank. Again, it's a tier 9. It's not even like a tier 8. It's a tier 9 heavy tank. And currently, you can't even get a tier 8 heavy tank. Literally, Wargaming is trying to sell a Sheriff for 15,000 gold when you can literally get a tier 9 vehicle, which in my opinion plays better than the Sheriff, for $15. Who would choose the Sheriff over that? So definitely pick up the KPZ. 100% worth the money. Don't even think twice about it. But other than that, I hope you did enjoy this video. I really wanted to get this one out quickly so that you guys could really know to pick it up. Don't wait. Just manage to get this thing. You are going to love it. And even if you don't, it's still a pretty nice vehicle to have in your garage. But other than that, as I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, make sure to smash that downvote button. Please let me know why. If you did, hit that like button. And other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.